Salam dostlar, Nurlan IELTS сөздік АМBىرىға қайтып келген қашалымыз. Welcome everyone to our Noorlan IELTS vocabulary class again. Okay, so day 2. Let's see. Again, we're going to start with slang or idiom. Today, number 2 idiom is 24/7. Bu qarmaqqa bir son. 24 yetti. Nima 24? What is 24? What is 7? If you go to some bank, or most probably ATMs, they open 24/7. That means they probably open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So you can also say, okay, you've been working very hard studying IELTS vocabulary and preparing for IELTS or whatever. And then you could say, hey, I've been almost studying for 24/7. Odatda so'zlik ishlatgan vaqtima 24/7 qancha 24 soat, bir kun 24 soat, bir haftada 7 kun ishlayapman, o'qiyapman desak, bu ko'p turma holatda bo'ladi, lekin buning ma'nosidan hammasi ikki xil ma'noda. Birisi, masalan, ATM pul oladigan narsa, mashin 24 soat ishlaydi haqiqatan. Uni 24/7 desak bo'ldi. Lekin ba'zi bir o'zimiz ish qiladigan vaqtlarda IELTSda Mesela IELTS tayyorlıqqa vaqtda men bak jiq chiqarib ketdim yoki bo'lmasa men bak jiq o'g'rinib ketdim degandim-a. Mushu orqali ish olsak bo'ldi. 24/7. Shunlashqa birisi mubolag'a darajada, yana bir ma'nosi bo'lsa, haqiqiy o'zining ma'nosi bo'yicha mangadi. 24/7. Can now shop 24/7. 7-Eleven deb bir shop bor. Uni biz kelar qilib so'zlaylik. 7-Eleven. Mush inglizchada ikki xil ashunday harflik Number 2, look at this guy. What is he doing? Liar, liar, pants on fire. Okay, so his pants on fire, right? Pants nebe American English it's American English is pants, but in British English it's trousers. So therefore you can differentiate this too. What about the white lie? Probably this guy told a white lie and then now his pants on fire, or he actually told a lie. What's the difference between white lie and lie? White lie is qarmaqlam ko'rinib turibdi, white degan oq degan shunday yaxshi narsaga vakillik qildi. Shunaqmi? Oq yo'l bo'lsin deymiz, oq ko'ngil tushgan deymiz. Demak, agar yog'inchilikmi, rangi oq bo'lib qolsa, demak, buning ma'nosi nima? Do little white lie. Do little white, okay, do little white lies count as truly lying? So what is a white lie? Imagine a friend of yours, the close friend of yours, now at the hospital, and you know he's going to die in about a month. Now, are you going to tell him that he's going to die in a month, or are you going to say, yeah, you're going to be fine, I hope and I will, and I assure you that you will get better very soon. Unda olsa do'stingiz og'ir holatda, bir oydan keyin tugab ketgan holatda bo'lsa, siz do'stingizga sen bilib ketsa demsa yoki bo'lmasa sen saqayib ketsa, og'ir berib hamisha yaxshi o'tib demsa. Unda bo'lgandan keyin agar biz keyingisini tanlagan holatda, yana yaxshi maqsadda, yaxshi niyatda bir yolg'on so'zlagan bo'lsa, u white lie bo'ldi. Okay? So, honest. Basically, you don't want to hurt others' feelings, and that's a white lie. All right. Sometimes lies really help you. I mean, especially white lies. But I don't want you guys to lie. If you lie, what happens? Your pants get on fire. Okay. So'zlik qaraylik. Birinchisi, abortive. Failing to produce the intended result. Abort. Bu nimadan kelib chiqqan deganda abort degan so'zdan kelib chiqqan. ABORT. Abort, mission abort deb o'tgan qilib so'zlagandik. Mission abort nima? Vazifani masalan biz ashuramiz unda tashlab qaytib kelinglar degan bo'lsa, mission abort bo'ldi. Cancelling of the mission is mission abort. Menda vujudga chiqmaydigan narsa. It was an aborted morning. I focused on non-crucial things and it did not prioritize tasks. Right? So basically you'd end up doing a lot of little things in the morning. However, you didn't really progress because none of those things you did was crucial. And that is futile or abortive. Men bu yerda majbur holatda qo'shib qo'ydim tushuntirish uchun, lekin bu yerda aborted morning deb olmaymiz. It was not productive deb olamiz amaliyotda. Productive ni qanday yozamiz? Men kelaqtim bunda cho'qim bir productive word file shakllantirsam bo'ldi o'xshaydi. Masalan, productive, it's not productive morning deymiz ingliz tilida. Bu yerda aborted faqat tushuntirish uchun sizlarga ma'no ishlatdim, lekin amaliyotda buni ishlatishim toza yaxshi emas. Buning o'rniga futile ko'proq ishlatamiz. Masalan, a lot of people try to learn English but end up not being able to learn well. That's futile attempts. Futile attempts. Basically, you're trying to do something but you're not getting any result. You're not getting any progress. That's futile. İngilizce'de köpek işletmemiz olsa futile köpek işletmemiz. Alright, so abortive, just learn this, what that is. And this is more reading. And then futile is more spoken English. Alright, so futile attempts. That's how we use. You try to do something, but you're not getting any progress. You're not getting any result. That's futile attempts. Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not using right methodology. You're not putting enough time. You're not putting your soul and heart into it. You're just doing it, right? Okay, next one, a breach. A breach, but breach degan aynan keyin qarasanglar breach. What is this? Yana ikki qirg'an tutashtirishni bo'ldi, ko'rik bo'ldi. Alright, a bridge bo'lsa, oldiga a qo'shilsa, unda bo'lsa qisqartirish. Ko'rik nima ish qildi? Ko'rik deydi, yo'limizni qisqartirgan narsa u. Demak, bu yerda a bridge deydi. Bir ko'rik deydi. Bir ko'rik nima ish qildi? Qisqartirdi. Nimani? Yo'limizni. Shuningdek, ingliz tilida qarab quyuqlar desak bo'lmaydi. Ba'zi bir so'zlar bor, ashni o'zimiz qarab bilan bir ma'ni shakllantirib, hikoya shakllantirsak, bu chaqda bizning asli tutish qobiliyatimiz yuqoriga turildi. Shu vaqtda shu so'z asallam isimiz qolgan bo'ldi. Masalan, average. What do we average? That's a question. Average papers. Agar maqola yozgan bo'lsanglar, ingliz tilida dissertation degan gap asli ingliz gap, uyg'urchada dissertation deymiz. Lekin ingliz uyg'urchada is dissertation deymiz. Amaliyotda inglizda dissertation degan gap maqola maktab bitirish maqolasi shunda deymiz u. Thesis defense deb ataymiz. Kelaqtirma aniq bir. Let's see if I can get a tome to. Let's see. Okay, let me just create. Why don't I create some folder here? Okay, new file. Şaqapırni. Şekillendirsem bo'lmadimi? Okay. Demak, average degan qisqartish nimani qisqartamiz? Yozilgan maqolani qisqartamiz. Amaliyot condense dedik. What are the synonyms? Condense and shorten. So condense o'xshashmaydi. Condense was okay, there are two meanings. Condense. I better just hold on one sec. Give me one sec. I'm going to make a new file. Okay. Now it is working. Now we are talking. Let me do this. Condense. What do we condense? What happens if gas condenses? If gas condenses, that becomes what? It becomes water, right? And what else? Condense. Condense a sentence. Okay, here's an example. GRE versus IELTS. IELTS-dan bir dağla, yani bilişimler gerek ya da GRE hem GMAT degandek intamlar var. Bu GRE GMAT intamlar nima degan vaqtda bu ikkisini solishtirgan bo'lsak, GRE GMAT bilan IELTS pek oddiy narsa aylanib qoldi, kichik balo narsa aylanib qoldi. Because those are really condensed, and reading, special reading is really condensed. Nima? Uningki o'qish, reading part is very, very condensed, meaning it's very hard to understand. Okay, that's condensed. Tumanla condense. Tuman deymiz. Tuman odatda it's a water vapor, right? So water vapor. Su tomchilari condense bo'lsin bo'ldi. Yomg'ir yog'di. Okay, that's condense. Bevosita average. It's condense is not really synonym for average, but we just wrote down here. And then abbreviation. Biz buni o'rgangan so'z. Men faqat buni bu yerda birontini takrorlash uchun yozib qo'ydim. Abridge bilan condense ning farqi nima? Condense bilan abbreviation farqi nima? Abbreviation bilan initials ning farqi nima? Tushunami? Shunga sizlar qolganda o'zinglar aytinglar. Abridge versus condense versus abbreviation versus what? Initials. Okay? Next word. Abbreviate. Shorten. We know shorten sentence, shorten story. The same thing. You can condense. You cannot really condense your story, but you can condense your sentence a little bit. Abbreviate. Okay. Next one. Abrogate. Gate again. Shik. Chong shik. Abrogate bo'lsa bekor qilmoq, amaldan qoldirmoq. Men nima deyapman? Men deyapman, siz so'z deyapman. Agar sen ishdan bir qadam oyoq minib ketsang, senga dars o'tmayman, sen bilan bo'lgan munosabatimiz tugaydi, sen bilan bo'lgan to'xtamiz amaldan qoladi deb sizga hayva qilyapman. Buning o'zi abrogate bo'ldi. Right? Abrogate. Demak, gate ni yaxshi tuting, men degan bir hikoyani esangiz tuting. Shunga abrogate nima degan bo'lsa, bekor qilmoq. Biz buni o'rganganda abolish deb o'rgandik. What do we abolish? We abolish. Alright, so I'm gonna make this similar and put it on the right side. How about that? Alright. So what do we abolish? Abolish rules and law. Annul the process belki annul degan nima? Oldin qitimiz terminate deb o'rgangandik. Demak, bu IELTS'ning vocabulary, it's quite interesting. They're intertwined together, they link each other, right? Terminate, nimani oxirlashtiruvchi, terminator bo'lsa oxirlashtiruvchi nimani? Bariq ishlarni. Annul bo'lsa nolga teng qilish deb atalmas. Yoki yo'qotish deb atalmas. Okay? CEO was accused of abrogating his responsibilities. And abrogate nazar tushundik, bekor qilmoqchi. CEO degan nima? Odat ba'zilar savdogarlar o'zini hozir CEO deb ataydigan bo'ldi qotganda. CEO bo'lsa nima bo'ldi? CEO. Uni ma'nosi Chief Executive Officer. CEO bo'ldi. Chief Executive Officer. Unda bir kichik shirkatning bir quriblar men CEO deb olsangiz o'qimlashmaydi. Buni angladim kulib chiqildi. Okay, so abrogate what? Must CEO qilmoqchi? CEO was accused of. Be accused of degan bo'lsa bir so'zniki phrase deymiz. Bir ikki so'z. Be accused of. Accuse somebody bo'lsa birisini. Okay, so how about this? You stole something from me and then I accuse you for stealing something from me. Probably you did, probably you didn't, but I'm just accusing you. Ayıplash bo'lsa accuse bo'ldi. Unda bo'lsa CEO ayıplandi. Nimaga ayıplandi? O'zininki qilmoqchi bo'lgan responsibility taskni bekor qilganlikdan, amaldan qoldirganlikdan ayıplandi deydi. Yoki bo'lsa o'zining responsibilityni qashqanlikdan deb tarjima qilsak bo'ldi har xil. Shuning ma'nosi asosan. Okay, so we don't use this too much. Let's go for the next one. Okay, here it is. Even though so far IELTS vocabularies are so far fun, not really challenging, but now here I'm going to give you some taste of the IELTS vocabulary. What is vocabulary? Vocabulary degan nima? Bir agar siz qo'pol bilan bir so'z desak, bir so'zni oz deganda 5 dan yuqori oladiki, uning synonym, o'xshash ma'nosi yoki uningga qarish ma'nosi aytib berasiz. Mana bu vocabulary bo'ldi. Mana bu inglizdan yaxshi pallasi bo'ldi, yuqori pallasi bo'ldi. Yana abate bum yo'qotish, abolish, annul, avoid, cancel, disannul, dissolve, invalidate, negate, null, nullify, quash, repeal, rescind, roll back, strike down, vacate, void. Hammasi o'xshash ma'no asosan. Ishiltish sal farqlanadi. Bu yerda sizlarga faqat buning hammasini bilinglar gap emas, lekin IELTS agar mana shu so'zning hammasini biladigan bo'lsangiz, demak siz IELTSga you're ready for IELTS. Ammo Moshunda 30% ya 40% bilgan bo'lsangiz, you're not really fully ready. You need to learn more. Okay? To be honest, quash, we don't really, I don't remember when I used the quash last time, but the rest of the words, definitely seen them. I've used them all the time. Okay? And vacate, not really. But void, yes. All right, let's go for the next one. Abrupt. Abrupt, sudden and unexpected. odatda suddenly deb olamiz. He suddenly left. He suddenly got angry. But abrupt to'satdan tuyoqdan ushtum tutla. He odatda ushtum tut. I was surprised by the abrupt change of the subject. Unda was abrupt and sudden farqi. Abrupt, sudden odatda we use this for spoken English more versus abrupt uses for IELTS writing. IELTS writing yazgan vaqtda IELTSda odatdagi so'zlardan bir qadar yuqoriroq bo'lgan so'zdan ishlasak, yuqoriroq chiqadi. Shunaqa, shunglashqa bu yezdiqchilik ko'proq ishlatamiz. Abrupt, very official. But pretty much the same, but this is official, this is not official, this is for spoken. Abrupt. And they can abruptly, tuyuqsizlam. Abruptly. He abruptly left. All right, next one. Absence, absent. All right, kam bo'lish nimaning kam bo'lishi? All right, so we're having class, but someone is not coming to the class or not in the class right now, then that person is absent. Ishq barmagan bo'lsangiz, xizmat barmagan bo'lsangiz, maktab barmagan bo'lsangiz, you are absent from work. Right? Absent from work. Absent from school. Right? Okay, instead of being absent, instead of being away. Absent, missing. Mehmet was absent from class today because he got sick or ill. Bayaq diqqat qilgan narsa, Mehmet was absent from class today. Debli qo'ysak, bu uyg'urcha fikr qilish bo'ldi, nima? Mehmet bugun maktabga kelmidi? Dars yo'q. Ammo bu ingliz fikr qilishda chuqur sababini deyishimiz kerak. Sabab natija aniq bo'lishi kerak. Because chunki he got sick, chunki og'rib qoldi. I mean, ill deb yozib qo'ydik. Ill, we don't use that in North America too much. We basically use a lot of, most of the time we use sick, right? He got sick. Okay, sick degan ikki xil ma'nosi bor. Right? One is ill, another one is cool. Yosh bolalar back, oh, that's so sick. They don't know, man, say very cool, very nice. Amazing degan ma'noda. All right, a gene that occurs in mammals but is absent in birds. Gene nima? Gin degan ma as the English gap. A gene deymiz amaliyotda. Gene that occurs nimada? Mammals, sut emgich hayvonlarda. Mammal bo'lsa sut emgich hayvon. Mammals. Yana bu gen sut emgich hayvonlarda bor, ammo nima yo'q? Qushlar yo'q. Right? Qaranglar, bu yer is degan gap faqatlam ishlab uchirdi. Ko'pincha holatda ingliz orqali dars o'rganganda, kasb o'rganganda ko'pincha holatda es qildiramiz. Uning he, she, they deganlar asosan biz ko'rmaymiz. Is ba'zi bo'lib qoldi, ko'pincha holatda bo'lmaydi. So overall, absent, being absent from work, school, and yeah, pretty much. Okay, next one, absolutely. Comes from the word absolute. Synonyms are utterly and definitely. Mutlaq, chuqum, tamamen. I absolutely agree what you just said. I absolutely agree global warming is true. I absolutely agree cryptocurrency is here to stay. I absolutely agree that we are in now going to the recession. Utterly. Gap so'z yo'q deganlar gap. Gap so'z yo'q deganimiz utterly. Definitely. Umuman ma cho'qim. Mutlaq degan absolutely, definitely. It's, exactly the same. Ba'zi odamlar bir siz so'zlayotgan vaqtda doim bir so'z qo'shib qo'ydi. Absolutely deydi. Yoki definitely nimishqa ashta bir odatlangan so'zni ishlatish. To'g'ri degan, tamoman to'g'ri deganning o'zi shu. Tamoman to'g'ri deyotsa degan ma'no bildir yig'izchida. All right, absorb, sumurish, o'ziga tortish, qabul qilmoq. Sorry. So what kind of things do you absorb? We absorb culture, right? You're living in North America, you're living in Europe, you're living in another country. Of course, you observe that country's culture at some point. Shu yerdagi madaniyatni sumiramiz. Undan boshqa dal daraxtlarni sumirdi. Plants absorb the water, right? And then absorb essentials. Dars o'qiganda bo'lib universitetda har bir satr darsni faqat sizning vazifangiz, you have to observe the essentials in each class. You don't have to pay attention to every single sentence that professor says, right? Sometimes it's not really good. Now, let me give you an example. I observed American culture. This is just one meaning. And second meaning is, true meaning is that here, macronutrients and micronutrients. Right? So plants, especially root, absorbs nutrients from the soil. And those are macronutrients and micronutrients. Macro는 총, micro는 küçük. D'accord? Mesela biz kalsiye deyimiz. Emniyette bu calcium. İngilizce. Magnesium deyimiz. Magnesium. İngilizce. Nitrogen. Nitrogen. Phosphorus. Potassium. Sulfur. Hepsi İngilizce gaplar, lakin biz Uygurca'da kimya işletimiz. Boron, chloride, copper, manganese, molybdenum, nickel, zinc. Zinc deyimiz taxmani. Demek İngilizce öğrencilerine nisbeten aytganda kimya asanlaşıp kalır. Çünkü bu narsalarning hammasi atalğanning hammasi İngilizcenin bevosita kirgan. Next one. Absorption. Bayaq bo'lsa absorb is verb bo'lsa fe'l bo'lsa, ma absorption deganimi har qachon zaman tin shin qo'shilsa bu ismga aylanadi. Sumirmak, o'ziga tortish. Assimilation, soak up, take up. Now assimilation. What is assimilation? You're living in America. Eventually, you think like American, you talk like American, you walk like American. Now you're being assimilated. Eventually, you are no different from American. That's assimilation, right? Because you observe too much. And soak up. What happens if you put the sponge? Sponge again, more. Sponge. If you put the sponge in the water, that soaks up. That's absorption. Soak up. Okay, sponge. Sponge ninki uyqusunda qolmadim. Ana ma sümürgüçe bir işte qachiqishdan yuyilgan ishlatgan narsa bor. Shuni sponge deymiz. So what happens if you put it in the water? Of course, it soaks up the water, right? And it takes up the water. Same thing. Here, it takes up the micronutrients, or it absorbs micronutrients. It's same. Take up or observe. Assimilation, we can also say assimilate. All right. See, I'm going to give you a more practical example here. Atmospheric nitrogen assimilation. See, plants assimilate nutrients. Anda üsümlükler nemeni yani baş phosphorus degan macronutrientsni sümürüdü. Demek assimilate bir manası sümürüş degan manası var. All right. This is a whole different ecosystem in biology. I think this is called nitrification. Anyway, this is a whole different class. Let's go for the next one. Abstract. Burun bir sözlük abstract bo'lsa, abstract bir İngilizce gap aslında. Buna actual concrete deymiz. Concrete İngilizce gap, onu concrete deymiz aslında. Theoretical. Abstract, same thing with theoretical. Nazari degan narsa. Not concrete. Concrete deb oldik-ku. Concrete. Concrete so'zlar degan gap inglizcha gapimyapti. Difficult to understand. Abstract things are always difficult to understand because it's not concrete. It's because it's theoretical. All right? Abstract. Another word. Abstractning yan bir ma'nosi bor. Masalan, siz science paper yozgan bo'lsangiz, science paper yazgan laf bor yoki bo'lmasa siz olimiyatga berib master o'qimoqchi bo'lganda, aspirant o'qimoqchi bo'lganda siz birinchi bo'lib maqolaning birinchisi nimadan boshlaymiz degan abstractdan boshlaymiz. Bu nima? Butun javr yig'indisi. Maqol nima so'zmoqchi bo'lganimizni mana shu yerda ifodalab bo'lamiz. Andiki introduction qilamiz. Okay? Shunlashgan mana shu abstractning yan bir ma'nosi. Bu yerda abstract deb tarjima qilmaymiz. Bu maqolningki dastlabki siz demoqchi bo'lgan nima qildingiz? Nimsmet sebep çıktı degan hammasini mishada yig'inchoqlab olgan, ya yig'inchoqlama bo'lsa abstract bo'ldi. All right. So there is another way of writing different papers, but it's irrelevant. We'll talk about this in different class for sure. Yana bir narsa mesela international high school deganimiz tilga oldik bugün. Yana international xalqaro o'rta maktablarda butun darsni ingliz o'tadi. Ularda İngilizce ders olgandan boshqa, ularga biz nima aytamiz deganda, qanday tadqiqotlar olib berishdan boshqa, qanday maqol qilib yozamiz, tadqiqot maqol degan o'rgatamiz. Shunga bu narsani odatdagi o'rta maktablarda o'rganilmaydi, bilinmaydi. xalqarалық o'rta maktabda biz keyincha cho'nqurlab yana fikr qilamiz, so'zlaymiz, tushuntiramiz. Bo'lsa, balalarimizni shunday maktabda o'qiy olsak, eng yaxshisi shu. Ularning o'rta maktabni o'qishining puli oliy maktabdan qimmat bo'ldi, lekin unda yerda o'qib chiqqan bolalar odatga bolalar bo'lmaydi. Alright, next one. Absurd. Absurd. Absurd. Okay, it's different. So let me just put them together, then you can differentiate. Observe versus absurd. Oh, sorry. This is observe. This is B. This is D. Observe is qamlashmagan bima'ni. Bima'ni masalan not ridiculously unreasonable, unsound. Bima'nisi qamlashmagan bir gap qo. Masalan birisi ma'lum bir gapni siz degan bo'lsa, qamlashmagan bir gapni. That's absurd desangiz ham bo'ldi. Lekin bu amerikacha, angliyacha bo'lsa preposterous deydi. Bu ko'rni so'z bilan juda ishlatmaydi. Cho'nglar, eshcho'nglar angliyadagi ishlatadi. Alright, so you can say absurd person, absurd statement, and absurd argument. Extremely silly or ridiculous. Absurd humor. Bu yerda ingliz tilida bir diqqat qilaymiz. Inglizda stupid degandek bu odamning bika yuragiga yaqin bo'lsa, hissiyotda bevosita degan so'zdan ishlatmaydi inglizda. Diqqat qildi, asosan diqqat qildi. Masalan, yolg'on so'z degan bo'lsa, masalan, sen yolg'onchi demaydi. You're a liar demaydi. You're not telling the truth deydi. Sen rost so'zlamayapsan deb deydi. Shunga ingliz o'rganganda faqat so'zlik emas, madaniyat diqqat qilishimiz kerak. Nima so'zlayapmiz, qanday so'zlayapmiz, unga diqqat qilishimiz kerak. Ridiculously unreasonable, unsound. That's what absurd is. Ridiculously qamlashma, baklam degan ganda. If you have questions, leave your questions. It could be about your English studies, or it could be anything about your career selection or choice. All right, so last time we talked about 10 provinces in Canada, and we talked about there are 37 or 38 million population in Canada with 10 provinces. I named all the provinces, and then I forgot the names of the territories. Here are the new 3 territories: Yukon, Northwestern Territory, and Nunavut. All right, so those are 3 territories. Therefore, altogether in Canada, 10 provinces and 3 territories. All right, that's what Canada is. And one more thing, interesting thing about Canada is that we have money, of course. Each country has its currency, right? However, here in Canada, we have loonie and toonie. What are the loonies and toonies? Loonie degan dollarni biz Amerikada a dollar deydi. Lekin Kanadada tenge puli bo'lsa, $1 biz uni loonie deymiz. Agar $2 tenge puli bo'lsa, biz toonie deymiz. Amerikada $2 tenge pul yo'q. $2 bilmi yo'q, qog'oz pulmi yo'q. Faqat Kanadada lamba. Bu Kanadaga xos. All right? So loonie and toonie. All right? So you have to know this. We have toonie, loonie, 50 cent, quarter, 10 cent, nickel, and a penny. Other penny comedy. America chicken chicken. We don't have pennies anymore. The smallest currency is now 5 cent, right? Because making penny costs more than what it's worth. That's why we just got rid of it. All right, so there are 2 things that you have to know. All right, so here's a question for you. All right, English learning is not about just learning language. English o'rganish faqatlam bir nuqullarla til o'rganish jarayoni emas. Agar siz undan bo'lsangiz, ma'lum bo'lgan bo'lsangiz boshlab. Bu o'zingizda bir odat etilish jarayoni. Shundan bilan bir vaqtda dunyoni tushunish jarayoni. Okay? Shunga ingliz o'qituvchilar bo'libmi, sizlarniki asosiy biliminglar, dunyoviy biliminglar ko'proq bo'lish kerak. O'quvchilarga faqat nuqullardagi bir til emas, jamiyatni, dunyoni tushuntiradigan bir sharoit hazırlashingiz kerak. Now that's a good English teacher. All right? Let's talk about this. Inflation is having strong Canadian dollar is beneficial for Canada or not? Inflation. Pul bahaligini biz deb o'tdik. Endi Kanada dollari bilan Amerika dollarining farqi bor. Yana Kanada dollar is o Amerika dollarining kuchli emas. Amerika dollaridan sal tuvanroq o'ringa egallaydi. Masalan, bir Amerika dollari bir Kanada dollari 0.177 sent Amerika dollari tanqildi. Demak 25% tarafından 23% tarafı tuvan. Now, question is having strong Canadian dollars is beneficial for Canada or not? Meaning, agar da Kanadaning dollari bilan Amerika dollari ikkisi tanglashib qolgan bo'lsa, bu Kanada foydalimi, foydasizmi degan narsa. Bu nimish buni biz so'raymiz. Chunki IELTSning speaking part 3, yana 3-qismda so'zlashniki sizlarning jamiyat to'g'risida fikr oladi. Faqatlam nima qilyapsa, otang kim, dadang kim, nima ish qilsa deganda oddiy savollarni so'ramaydi. Ma jamiyatga ma iqtisod sanchi qanday bo'ldi kelgusida, qanday qilsak iqtisod yuksaldira olamiz degandek bir savollarni so'raydi. Shunlashqa biz sizlarning o'ylash, fikr qilishinglarni shu orqali oshirmoqchi. So this is a question I'm going to leave for you and I'll answer next time. If you know the answer, shoot a message or let me know. Okay, we can talk about this. All right. That's it, and thank you very much. Hope you guys stay safe and sound. Bye now.